Hey, folks. Welcome back. It's Dr. Scott.
Dr. Shiloh. Wow. Remember we used to do that?
Remember that time?
Remember? This whole special episode is just, I wanted to take a moment to tell people why we're really wrapping up the show. And it's because I keep getting alerts that we're almost out of Google storage. So I think that means we have to stop doing this or something.
I have told you that's a scam. That has nothing to do with reality.
Damn it.
All
of this.
Dropbox does the same thing. Although Dropbox will also just go, yeah, we're tired of holding your data for it. It's all gone. Bye. Hope there was nothing important there.
Yeah, after 8 million reminders.
Yeah.
No, just kidding, guys. That has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, it doesn't. We have had a big weekend so far. Early this morning at 8 a.m., we were up recording our last episode, which ended up being over 2 hours long.
You're welcome.
As we do. And it really felt like another day of recording that we've been doing now for 8 years. And whether we're together in person doing it or doing it remotely like COVID taught us to do. But we want to close this chapter of a book that is still ongoing. But we didn't want to close this chapter without taking an opportunity to say goodbye. And we didn't want it to be in the forensic episode. We just wanted to say thank you. And a really sincere thank you. I think sometimes I worry about people like, God, do people think I'm being inauthentic? Because I'm sure I can come across as maudlin in some of these exaltations about our audience and this experience, but it's just amazing. And we wanted to make sure that the goodbye was real and substantial to every single one of you, even the ones that listened to us for a while and got mad at something that we said and went away. We still think you're amazing.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah. And doing this as a standalone, I think, is important. And you and I know that goodbyes are hard for people sometimes. How are you with goodbyes? Have you ever thought about that?
I'm not good. And I have a better understanding of it now than I did when I was a kid. One of, just to dip into the psych part of it or my clinical makeup is, I'm very much Scotch-Irish, and I've always known the saying of the Irish goodbye, which I used to do a lot. And as much of an outgoing extrovert as I am, there is a part of me that is a little bit of an introvert. So maybe I'm an extroverted introvert. And goodbyes, I think as a younger person, were confusing for me because I didn't know what the expectation was. Like, am I doing the right thing? Have I been a good friend? Has this gone the way it's supposed to go? There was a lot of questioning myself.
Yeah.
So that made for uncomfortable. And then on top of it, ADHD does this weird thing to those of us with the diagnosis that I call temporal displacement. It's like a science fiction-y term, but it really is like all of you are ever present in my mind. Like, my friends that I have not seen since I was a freshman in college or high school, I still think about them. And that's weird because they don't have a relationship with me after 30 years, but I remember those moments and they're special. And also because of, it's just always not been easy to stay in contact, but it's just as alive to me moment by moment. And it probably isn't returned on the other side. And that's okay. So that's my very long-winded way of saying I am not great. How about you?
I think I've come to learn, and this is probably not shocking, that I am, so in getting more education on loss and bereavement and things like that, I've learned that I'm a practical griever. And so I probably don't show and grieve and sometimes don't feel the way other people do in those times. And I think sometimes that crosses over to goodbyes where I'm just like, goodbyes are supposed to happen at certain points, whether it's like I'm saying goodbye to someone that I'm going to see again in a few months and I know they're going to be back, or, it's kind of a final goodbye. In this day and age, I think it just reinforces some of that of I can always kind of contact someone in some way. So I tend to be a little bit more, I don't know, come off as like nonchalant about it, which doesn't mean I don't care. And it doesn't mean that practical grievers don't care or aren't grieving, right? Because I am such a social person. And for me, connection is so important.
Yeah.
If I don't have a lunch with someone at work lined up to kind of get that little social camaraderie hit for the week, or something obviously planned like with my family or what have you, I need that. I love that human back and forth. So I do care. I care deeply, but yeah, I think I'm a practical goodbyer. And I Irish goodbye, not because it's hard for me, but because like I don't need to say goodbye. I'll see you guys later anyway.
Yeah.
That's just how I am. But yeah, goodbyes can be hard or awkward for folks. I mean, you and I have both had clients who ghost that last therapy session
Mm.
because they don't like goodbyes, especially after building a healthy, safe relationship in therapy, sometimes for the very first time. So I thought it would be interesting to just include just a snippet of a little clinical piece here. But goodbyes serve a really important psychological role, right? They help us express emotions, define some memories, and mark transitions that can really bring a nice resolution or closure to different life phases.
I like that. I like especially the thing that pops out for me from that quote is mark transitions. Because I think that we're living in a world that doesn't recognize transitions, especially, with the challenges that we have today in the US. Everybody's just grinding. Everybody's just grinding to stay afloat and alive. And that doesn't allow for transitions. We've talked about Victorian mourning rituals and how, like, remember all those years ago, we went to Heritage Square Museum
Yep.
and saw that particular Halloween presentation, which was so fascinating. And the opening of 6 Feet Under, where the mom gets really frustrated with her husband's death. It's like, why is this so sanitary? Put your hands in the dirt. Put your hands in the dirt to throw the dirt on the, and there's something, I mean, that seems like dramatic, but at least it's acknowledging loss, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to stay with me that this is marking a transition of something that we worked on together and collaborated on, and we'll continue to create. We'll do something,
Sure.
even if it's, let's start a knitting club. I don't know.
Let's do it.
But we're going to create. And this is just the transition of leaving this as a good, solid legacy for people to enjoy and hopefully learn something from. Now, all of that being said, a little bit more psychoeducation here as we close. Across various cultures, people create rituals, farewell meals, parties, airport send-offs, and they are transitional mileposts to mark these endings. And Schwar, Krott, and Ottinger in 2020 introduced the idea of a well-rounded ending. What a lovely phrase, a well-rounded ending. And they describe it as an ending or a goodbye that feels complete and provides closure. And their findings suggest that people experience a well-rounded ending when they believe that they did everything they could, fully completed the experience, and tied up loose ends. And I know that's not always possible, but that makes so much sense to be able to do that.
Yeah, it's something to aspire to. I mean, I think in every single situation, we certainly can't do all of that. But if you can mark off those things, I would say that you probably walk away feeling like it was a very well-rounded ending.
Right. I am a person who craves resolution at the end of any type of relationship. And before we push the record button today, I was talking about like there is an ongoing issue in one area of my life that it's been 3 years. Where is the resolution for this? Just give me, even if you're going to say no, just say it and let's all move on. And as a clinician, I see a lot of clients that have to navigate ridiculous behaviors of ghosting, and I think it says something about us that we aren't just going to go, okay, that's the end of it. We're gone. Bye. Bye, everybody that supported and helped us do this thing for so many years. I think about how, I think it's, what's the character's name? Is it Steve from Blue's Clues?
I think so. That sounds right.
I think it's Steve, who was a wonderful young actor that fell into this role, and kids and parents fell in love with him, just like really, really fell in love with him and his wonderful, gentle voice and his kind attention to children. And he made a decision to leave the show because he was rapidly going bald. And he's like, I think that's weird for me in a kid's show for me to go bald, and a wig is not going to do it. So this is time for me to go. And then he went and did other things. And then he came back as an adult 15 years later during a really difficult time, like during COVID. And he did, in his Blue's Clues voice, he's like, hey, this is a tough time for you guys. And I just remember bawling when he was saying that. It was so sweet. But look, this is a mixed bag. And oh God, am I going to have waterworks.
Here we go. Here we go.
Here he goes. I'm off. I'm off. But hold on.
Yep. We're holding.
Doing this with my best friend
Oh,
has
gosh.
it's amazing. It's just been amazing. And this month, 16 years ago that we met.
It is, oh God, a world away. So today, in between our 2 recording sessions, I went and got a facial. It's probably the best thing I could have done for myself today. But on my way driving there, I don't know why, and please, nobody analyze this. Like, I don't know why this was floating through my head, but I was thinking of the people I have been in love with in my life. And I was thinking about that one thought leads to another. And I was like, wow, it's going to be so weird if my kid comes to me one day is like, how do you know you're in love? And don't worry, I'm not going to profess my love to you, Scott. But you can have great loves in your life and they last for as long as they're supposed to last. And I've always felt that way. And sometimes when you realize that the effort or the energy isn't the same, or you'd rather be putting that into something else, that's kind of those markers to know when maybe that is. And I then started thinking, I've had, and because of today and the recording that we're doing, thinking about the ending and how I've had great loves or passion projects in my life and things that I've done and accomplished. And to me, that's an incredible driver, right? Like a sense of accomplishment, whether it was the academy, getting through that, grad school. But I consider this podcast as one of my great loves and passion projects. And it's the only one that I have that I got to do with somebody else. Like every other accomplishment in my life has been me and my drive. And it's something that when I describe this, what we have done, that I always lead with, that I got to do this with you. And that's hands down the most special part of it. So yeah, you are one of my great loves.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So look, here I am.
Thanks for letting me ramble my story today.
No, it's really beautiful. It's like, it is, again, it's so strange to think that this is not the end of us. It's the end of this particular thing, but it's been such a big deal. And these are escalated times in the world. And we've had some hard discussions. I did want to share with people something. There's so many amazing things about you and your family, welcoming Dan and I in such a wonderful way. But we've also, while we've been doing this, have gone through some unbelievably challenging times. And without one of you, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But the one where we had a shared relationship with an individual who was not who we thought they were.
Yeah.
Was like something out of a movie. It felt like that last scene of Gone Girl, where everybody is sitting in the living room and they all know what happened. And they know that it's like all the stories are coming together and everybody is just so astounded. And you and I have, not only did you and I have that moment, but you did something that is so typical Shiloh. I was flagellating myself over guilt of not being able to preserve this relationship. Like, if I did this, I should have done. And you in front, and it was you and me and several other people, and it got weirdly uncomfortable. And you handled it like a pro. And you looked over at me and said, you need to understand, Scott, that this person is not who you think they are. And then I was stunned with that information. But anyway, so without going into any of the details, it let me off the hook in a way that I never would have known, like the burden that I was carrying with that. But again, there's just this nature you have of being so stalwart, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's also funny. The first time I ever met your mom is such a riot. She goes, oh, I hope you'll pull that stick out of her ass. And I was like, don't you talk about my work girlfriend.
Right?
Don't you talk that way about her.
She saved my life at internship. What are you talking about? She's exactly who I want and need around me.
Exactly. You keep that stick right up your ass, lady.
It's working for you, lady.
It's totally working for you.
Oh, that's so sweet.
But the other part, and this is something I've talked about with you too, is that so many kids of my generation, being a gay kid growing up in Alabama in a time where that was just not a thing. You carry a lot of baggage with you that is about code switching and performative emotional access
Sure.
in order to navigate the world around you. And I have wonderful friends who are my same age and went through exactly the same upbringing. They don't have this baggage at all. But I do love that. I think I remember one time, and I wasn't fishing for a compliment, but I was just like looking at you and Anthony, and I said, I don't understand why you guys like me. Like, what?
Really?
Like, aren't I kind of
Oh my God.
annoying? And you were like, what the fuck are you talking about? It was like, this is the weirdest, for this guy who's almost a generation older than you. But for
Yeah.
all the things that we have in common, and there is a spark that I've never had with any other friendship. There is
Oh.
a spark of excitement. And I've had like wonderful, wonderful, fulfilling friendships over the years, but like you hit all the angles, like the passion about research, the passion about weird shit, the passion for doing good in the world and having a sense of purpose. It's
And
just,
talking shit
and
under
talking
our breath
shit.
when we need to.
I know you. Well, see, here's the thing. You say you are so lightweight of a shit talker than I am. You're so
Mm.
good, but you
Yeah,
put
I'm
up
just
with mine, which,
digesting all of it.
but I do appreciate it.
Oh, that's so funny. Well, thank you for saying that. And I'm probably going to be on another podcast pretty soon coming up, and I'll let you guys know about it through Patreon. But it's focused on mental health and support for that community in law enforcement. And so we're going to do an episode on mental health, but they decided we want to do an episode on allyship as well. And so it has me kind of like thinking about all the experiences in my life. And you'll certainly be a huge part of kind of my story of how to be a good ally and just the impact that you've had on me in that sense. Even at the time in my life where I met you, it was like I could always do better and I can always learn how to incorporate that into my life on a conscious level. So you'll get some shout outs and some love on that when that
Awesome.
comes out too. But
Thank
thank you, because that's enriched my life and my family's life as well. Should we get on with like thank yous
Yeah.
and things?
Yeah. Now that I've reconstituted.
Good. We got all that out.
Whew, thank God. Okay. Again, no, the project has been more than we could ever have imagined or asked for, and in ways that are completely unexpected. And we absolutely could not have done this without this incredible intersection of so many people coming into our lives. It's amazing.
It is. And I hate when people are doing thank yous and they say, like, I can't possibly thank everyone. But now I kind of understand that because we'd be here all day.
Yeah.
And there are so many of you that have touched us in ways that, like, we can only hope that we took the time to tell you in that moment or showed our appreciation in some way. But yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
So first on the list, we have Tim and Lance. It was such an honor to be invited into the Crawl Space Network and family all the way back in 2019. From that first moment up until now, we are just blown away by the caliber of your reputations and have truly found you guys to be two of the most genuine and goofy people in this industry.
And so authentic. So authentic.
Cannot love you more for that. Yeah. And we have been through some wonderful and strange experiences together.
Yeah.
So that has bonded us, and you guys are like our foundation when we look back.
Yeah. Yeah. Foundation is a good word. But again, I think this is going to be the common thread among this list of people is just we absolutely are magnetically attracted to authentic people that are real. And we've met some, you think in the true crime community, you're going to meet authentic people, and you really do. You just meet wonderful people. Tammy and Bryce from Holly Weird Paranormal, who are our Dupar besties. Dupar's is like a classic old diner here in LA. And the first time we met them, we were like scarfing down pancakes and laughing wildly with each other. It was like we had known them all our lives.
Yep.
The world is truly better with both of you in it. And we're so lucky to know you two amazing humans. You really are. And continue to astound us after all these times. Bryce is a producer. Tammy is a producer. They're both doing amazing things, and you'll be hearing more from them as well.
Absolutely. Bex, of course, the queen of it all, trivia, branding, and of course, interviewing. Dialogue is still, I swear, some of the best true crime content in this space. We are always admiring the curiosity that you have brought. And, really through some times that have crossed over into some very uncomfortable issues. And nobody has approached that with more grace than you have. And clearly, you're such a dear, dear friend to the both of us, but your talents just deserve to be praised. Scott knows that behind the couch wasn't always my favorite thing because I'm so nervous when I'm interviewing people and I think it always turns out horrible in my mind. And I'm like, why can't I be like Rebecca Sebastian?
It's funny to hear you feeling so non-secure about that because from a collaborator perspective and a viewer perspective, it comes very naturally to you. Your flow is great. And you're so interested in people. Like, I think that's something else that we share. We just are fascinated by people, which it makes perfect to do this kind of content. Kaz, she is the Kaz. And probably the most logical, critical thinker in our group, which is really needed. And as an attorney with a law background, you're amazing. Can really pull us back to reality sometimes when we are just untethered. She just has the magic to bring our text thread that needs to be a movie in itself. That text thread needs to be a full feature-length film. She always brings us back to center, and somehow we found the one person with a drier wit than ours. Her sarcasm and sly retorts, just they're
like oozing
razor
through a
sharp.
text message.
Through a text
you can
message.
Feel it.
It's like, I remember the first time she pulled one on me and I was so taken aback. I had said something and she texted me. She goes, "Weird flex, but okay."
Perfect.
And from one coast to the other, I felt that. I was like, oh, wow, I got smacked with that. We love you, Kaz.
Yes. And thank you for always lending your legal mind when it's been needed, not just to us, but to so many other creators.
Yeah.
I know that goes without saying. Also, a big shout out to Shannon. This is a listener turned friend. Shannon, I don't know if I've ever told you this, but you are literally listed in my contacts as Shannon #1 crawl space fan. And that goes all the way back to when I just kind of knew you through chats and Get Vocals and things like that. And I've never changed it because I love it so much. Just a sweet, genuine person. And again, fucking hilarious behind the keyboard. I can't even with her wit as well.
So good. And also it was another strange one because I think of all of us in the group, she could be the serial killer because we connected with her so quickly.
Right.
She, the first time we met her physically, it was just like, well, of course Shannon's here.
Yeah.
Shannon's part of this group.
She is.
Yeah, it was just such a natural fit. It's amazing. Yeah. Abby. Oh my God, Abby. Our amazing
our adopted niece.
Our adopted niece, who's the young person of the group. I feel like she represents the younger generation. And I mean that in the best, most adoring way possible. Unbelievable support, tech support, reconnaissance skills. We sent her out on a reconnaissance mission and she went and did it for us. And for believing in herself as well. We're just, I don't want to even say I'm amazed. I don't want to say I'm proud. I just think that you're so amazing. Yeah, you're amazing. And what you're accomplishing and doing in just a few short years, I think you've climbed a mountain that you had no idea how high it is. And I can't wait to see who you're going to be over the years. And no, I'm going to say it. We are proud of you. We're really proud of you. And thank you for, she had to explain Discord to us.
I know. We're sit us down.
What? How do you? She's
Gen Xers we are.
You really should do this. Or okay.
She's so sweet. A little DM. You should be doing this. I'm fantastic. Can you do that, Abby?
Awesome.
I don't know what you said. Can you just take care of it?
Yeah.
Thanks. Lauren H., thank you just for sharing all of your crazy stories, for being a great mom to those awesome kiddos of yours and showing up, coming to our stuff and just being a super fun hang for sure.
Yeah. Emily.
Yep.
Emily, force of nature, Emily. Emily is how you learn the lesson that nobody should mess with a mama bear of that caliber, of her wild intelligence and her fortitude and resilience and having this healthy North Star about her family.
Yeah.
In the face of some really big odds, and I'm not going to disclose because that's her story to tell, but Emily just has blown us all away. And she also went on a reconnaissance mission for us, which appreciated. And I will say this because we sent Abby out on the one as well. And what we found out was another aspect of both these people, like Emily coming back and giving us this completely professional
Yep.
response to what we had asked to find out. It was like an unbiased opinion, which is exactly
Totally.
what we needed. And I just really
Totally.
appreciate it. Yeah.
You guys didn't know we had an army of spies, did you? We also want to thank John. We have thanked John before. We're so appreciative for your brilliant mind and just the time that you give us, to listen to an episode and then compose a super interesting email for us to read has been everything. So enjoyable. It was always a really special part of our week when you wrote in and
Yeah.
gave us, your incredible labyrinth laundry list of how old Hollywood and crime stories were all connected. And it's just really been lovely getting to know you. Thank you so much for coming to our events as well.
Yeah. Meeting John in person was like the next level. Meeting all the people that we've met that came on the tours and we've seen over the years has always been great. But I felt like I knew John even before he walked in the door because his writing is so spectacular. I hope that he will write more about old Hollywood and also introducing him and Chris of CLA in a Day was like, I'm surprised there wasn't like a rift in the universe that opened up with these two brilliant minds coming together. So amazing. Bridget, oh my gosh, another like around the world. I feel like I've known her for so long. Bridget, you live on the other side of the planet. Thank you so much for being our favorite Kiwi psychologist and sharing the amazing work that you do with teens and also honoring me with like legit hardcore conversations about clinical stuff. I mean, some people will go, oh, he's never going to want to talk about that stuff. But, like having this professional collegiality with someone who's a listener and understand the conversations we had, this shorthand that is really, really fantastic. And please hold on to some psychologist jobs for us in New Zealand. We may have to make a quick getaway. God knows.
Please. And she always wins the prizes at our Christmas get-togethers, our virtual ones. It's weird.
It's weird. It's like
she's hacked the system.
Yeah, she's either hacked the system or she's doing some New Zealand hoodoo or something.
Love it.
Whatever it's working.
Yes. Adrian, again, another listener turned friend. And from your first DM, I was like, we are cut from the same cloth. Just love it. We got each other. Your commitment to your profession and education is so admirable. And we just love the chance to be able to hang out with you and James, our fellow Disney adults. I mean, we like check all the boxes for all the things, but it's really been amazing to just have a friendship with you. And thanks for everything. I mean, dropping off little gifts and having weird like Silence of the Lambs things that you share with me. And I'm always here for it. And just the conversation has always been awesome. So thank you, Adrian.
Thank you, Adrian. Lainey. Oh my gosh, Lainey, thank you so much for giving us our first chance to present at your wonderful festival. I still don't know how that happened, but like that was really, there were seminal moments in the development of this show. That we could have been a show that flamed out after 2 years and, never have been able to really go anywhere with it. But getting to True Crime Podcast Festival exposed us to a whole new audience and gave us the opportunity. You and I have been doing presentations for years. Like we've done various presentations. I mean, you can't really be a psychologist much without having to do an aspect of that in your job. When you work for big organizations like you and I do. But, I'm an old performer, an old chorus boy, and I want to give information, but I also want to grab people's attention and I want to entertain. I should have been a cult leader, I think. I hear that a lot.
100%.
I'd cry too much probably.
Still have to.
But no, Lainey, again, like just getting us hooked in with you has been so fantastic. And, now we can go as participants rather than, than having to put up a show.
We'll come out of retirement for the festival coming to the West.
Okay, yeah. Oh, happy to.
But really, I mean, we're super grateful for her commitment to inclusivity and ethics and was blazing that trail before anyone was even thinking about it.
Before anybody, yeah.
Yeah. In that same vein, huge thanks to Jessa and Nick for pairing up with us at that first festival presentation. I think It Still Rains is one of our best, and it was the first one. And it was because of Jessa and Nick. You guys heard us, talk about Jessa extensively pretty recently. And Jessa, we hope that your kiddos get to hear that really scratchy audio from that presentation one day and see it as just another way in which you absolutely gave a piece of yourself to educate the community.
That was, yeah, I mean, I'm still I have not wrapped my head around Jessa's death yet. I haven't. It does not feel real, even though it's been months, and I know it's very real. But there was something in the air the night we met them. We met them in person the night before we did a presentation. We had sort of practiced things across phone lines in a Zoom meeting, but we really, this was our first time getting together, and people came up to it was electric. It was absolutely electric. We went over our time, which was right before the lunch break. I don't know if it was Lainey or whoever's like, yeah, you guys, if you want to keep talking. And half the audience stayed. And people came up to us and were saying, how long have you guys known each other? The back and the forth and the way you wove in talking, and nobody was talking over the other one. It was amazing because it just felt like being with that level of professionals was how that happened. So our hearts go to Jess's family, and I'm so happy for Nick's ongoing accomplishments. He's just an unbelievable trailblazer in this field, and I can't wait to see what he does as well. Now, for the next, parallel to Nick and Jessa is Megan and Amy.
Yes.
Dr. Megan, Dr. Amy, the criminologist versions of us, which opened our eyes to this very specific point of view that's right adjacent to the work that we've been doing for years. It's crazy to think how far back we go now from sharing that first festival swag table together. Meeting Amy, it was amazing. We immediately took off and we were laughing and, trying to figure out how are we all here? How is this happening? For both of you, thank you so much for the work that you do to bring your professional insights to these masses. We had a phenomenal couple of presentations with them. We've done crossover episodes. Yep. We did 2 very, very well received presentations with them at festivals. And, the results of those ended up kind of boosting our viewership as well, which has just been fantastic. Thank you for the work that you do. Working with professionals like the two of you always inspires me to bring my A game to our collaborations. It's oh, wait, it's the doctors. I forget I'm a doctor too. Oh, no, it's the doctors. I got to get my shit together.
Doctor.
Yes. Big thanks to Nick Amell from the Tennis Podcast. We have so appreciated your podcast friendship and have truly been through some unique experiences as well. And it's been nice to kind of share some of that on the side, whether it's podcast business stuff or things going on in the world, what have you. It's just been a very easy friendship. So thank you for all of the collaborations and invites. And most of all, thank you for sharing Brandon with us and the world.
Yeah.
The podcast world is certainly better for your guys' show. It's been really, really, I sound like I'm writing in a yearbook. It's been cool to know you guys, but
so cool.
It has. It's, just been one of those unique ones that inviting them or vice versa has just always felt like a thing that we have on calendar.
Yeah.
Should be.
And then, even more collaborators, Daniel and Greg, such a great show, such great guys. Thank you so much for collaborating with us for another one of our live LA shows, the special one that was at Heritage Square. It was so amazing and fun.
Definitely. I'm also appreciative of the serial killer postcards I get every month as a Patreon member of LA Weekly, their show.
LA Meekly, not Weekly.
Sorry, did I freaking said weekly? That's crazy. Yeah. It's weird how a pun like that can happen. It's not that they give me postcards with serial killers on them, but Daniel's writing looks like a serial killer every time. And my husband is like, who is writing you at our post office box? The first time he was really nervous. It says Dr. Shiloh and then scribble, 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 scribble. And it comes every month and it looks really creepy. So I always give Daniel shit for it.
I love that. I didn't know where you were going with that, but I was like, really? Are there that many serial killers to do one every month for
He's
years
like,
and years?
Is your husband still mad at me? Also, again, this is going together. Thank you to Corey at Heritage Square Museum. She's the executive director there. She has been like a family member to us. Thank you for opening the museum's beautiful doors to us and our friends to
do our show, this crazy idea. And she was like, this is going to be awesome from the get-go, even though we didn't know if it was going to be awesome. But she's really become like a family member, even though we haven't made it over there in a long time, but done a lot to help mentor my daughter as well. So Corey, we can't thank you enough.
Chris from CLA in a Day, we have to mention this one last time, how much we have appreciated your knowledge and your kindness, and for always creating special outings for us and our listeners with your company. And it feels, I mean, I don't know if he does this magic with all of the people. I would think so, because there's not a bad review out there of CLA in a Day. It's amazing. But every time I've been on a tour with him, this is not somebody who's like reading a remote card that they have to do 3 times a day when you go take a tour someplace. This is somebody that's so passionate about LA and its history, and you just feel like you're having this curated experience. So they're still around. Anybody in the LA area, we're actually even doing ads for them that are going to run in perpetuity for a while. You know, we just can't say enough about it. If you're coming to LA, you got to book these tours because he's just wonderful.
Yes. I promise you guys we're in the home stretch. So thank you for sticking around. We have to say thank you to Nancy of CrimeCon UK. She's the organizer of that. And, you know, she took a Zoom call with us to see if we would be a good fit from across the pond, and decided to invite us to present. And we are so appreciative of being invited back year after year. Your event, as we have talked about on the show, is one that we have raved so much about, and that's so well deserved because of your leadership in that space and how you want the tone to be. And it is the way it should be. So it's always been a really special experience for us.
Yeah, it's been wonderful. So another person, and this is someone that is the reason we're here for this long, and that is Noelle D. I've known Noelle. I've known her since I was a sophomore in college, and she was like a grade school kid. She was like one of my dear friend's little sister. She is my dear friend's little sister. I reconnected with her through social media, you know, with Facebook. And when we started this show, her sister, Nicole, that I'm close with, was like, oh yeah, Scott's doing a podcast. You should try this out. And I had no idea that she was a true crime aficionado. And she said, like, I'm in this discussion thread, and I think it was on Reddit, for My Favorite Murder. And she decided to like go, hey guys, if you really want to get some background on the psych issues, you should check these people out, and put a link in there. And overnight, our numbers quadrupled. And I mean, it was amazing. And that exposure got us even more calls and invitations to do things, because suddenly we were popping really strongly. And it was just amazing. We would not have been here without that. Michelle Z of Morzat Productions. Michelle is a dear friend of mine. I've known her for decades, like literal decades. We used to perform together. We used to choreograph together. And then back in the pre-COVID days, she and I had reconnected, and she is a very successful producer and manager here in Hollywood. And she came to our first live show, and like, true crime is not her thing at all. But she immediately saw the potential in the interaction between you and I doing a presentation, and Bex was there with us as well. Yep. And she said, like, look, if you guys want to, let me pitch this. And if it had not been for COVID, we would have had another show go. And it was for NBC, when NBC was doing podcasts.
Yeah.
And my gosh, Shiloh, we did an unbelievable pilot presentation. It was a great idea.
Really did.
We busted our asses. It was different from what we do, because it was geared toward a more interactive audience. And of course, it wasn't able to go anywhere, but I had a friend listen to it, or he showed interest in listening to it. So I sent him the pilot presentation, and he was just, all cool exclamation points. It was pretty cool. So Michelle, you have always been a rock star. You'll continue to be a rock star. And we can't talk about it right now. Who knows if it'll come out in social, but as I was writing this thank you to her today, she texted me and said, hey, I need to talk to you about XYZ. And it's
so nuts.
So crazy. So there you go.
Yeah. Just a blanket thank you to everyone who has ever invited us onto their show or to their event. And we keep forgetting about like how many of those we've done. There's a lot. If you go to our spotlight page on our website, just about everything is up there, and there is a lot. But thank you to each and every one of you for trusting us to speak to your audiences. It's always been an honor. We've always put our blood, sweat, and tears into doing the proper research for it. That I think we have one more person and then like one last thank you.
Yeah.
So go ahead. I'll let you start.
It's hard to even start. You know, part of our text group, who all of us have been creators, and except for Shannon. You know, Shannon's been part of our text group too, because she's such an integral part of our friendship. But Jason, our producer, is just fantastic. And we could not have done this without him. And it was a chance meeting of him through Bex, and it was an instant connection. But I could go on for days about how amazing he is at what he does. There are times when Jason has taken this garbled mess of a recording that we've done too early in the morning or too late at night, or you're dealing with kids and I'm dealing with stuff, then he has spliced together things that do what an editor does and make us sound really fantastic. His talents are amazing. And also, I remember realizing that, oh, this is what you get when you work with somebody who is so gifted, is that he understands our voice. He understands our point of view, and he understands our voice on the show. And it's very different from the content that he creates and that he edits for other people. So he's
like our AI chatbot.
He's our chatbot.
He predicts what we're going to say.
Right. And I don't know when the guy sleeps. I mean, he's a wonderful father, and congratulations on the new addition to your family. I'm so excited for you.
Yes. Yeah, extremely talented. And once he actually stepped into the space himself, we got to see that. And it was so neat, especially, right off the bat with Santa, maybe. It's been such an evolution of a friendship and a partnership, and, having someone on our team with us, right? Just kind of side by side with us. And you can ask for a better, nicer human. So Jason, we thank you endlessly for your time and your work, but most of all, your friendship. And you 100% are like a brother to us.
One of the gifts that he gave us through his talents and his diligence is he took our fumblings at editing and attempts to sweeten and attempts to do all those things. And by giving him this work, or him, agreeing to take this work, he gave us the gift of time for us to be with our family.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I'd be desperately trying to edit, 6 hours a week, and he could do it with his magic hands and magic technology. So thank you so much for agreeing to work with us with your talents and for giving us time back, really valuable time.
Yeah. And so I think the last people to thank are our families. I, reflecting on this today, have thought there have been so few sideways looks, snarky comments, unhappiness with just allowing me to do this, whether it's, hey, mom's going to be locked in a room for 2 hours and everyone has to be quiet or keep the television down, or we just can't go do that thing that we want to do this weekend and we'll see when we get to do it, or, going on another trip somewhere to do a festival. My family has been absolutely incredible. Let me do my thing, right? Just if you want to know how to support me, Dr. Shiloh, let me do my thing. And they have absolutely done that, never made me feel bad for doing it. And it's been an awesome opportunity for them as well. Trips, getting to go to the UK back to back, my daughter being inspired to start her own shows at 7 years old.
Yeah.
Youngest podcaster I'm aware of. So a huge, huge thank you to them. Of course, the parents, like everyone in my orbit who's engaged, listened, downloaded, passed it on to their friends, shown up at events. It does not go unnoticed, even if I am incredibly distracted during that time. A heartfelt thank you to every single one of you for your support.
I have a big and extensive family, and talking about family in terms of this show has been the same experience for me. I mean, this show came at a time when my mom was already being ravaged by Alzheimer's, which was really sad because she was a brilliant, brilliant woman. And she would have loved, maybe, I don't know if she would have loved the content, but she would have loved the idea that you and I were friends and that we were doing this with our talents. And then, my sister Anne, who passed 4 years ago, 3 seminal people in my life have passed while I've been doing the show. But Anne, who is like just an amazing mom, she's an amazing, amazing woman. She was just an amazing sister. And she listened to every episode. And I would go, Anne, this is so not your genre. And she's like, well, no, I like Midsummer Murders. She likes like the gentle English detective shows. And I'm like, I know that you support me and love me. You don't have to listen if you don't want to. No, I learned something. I do. I learned something. And
bless her heart.
I feel I miss her, but I also still feel her here every day. And our families have been great.
They have. They've let us do this crazy thing. And that's special. I mean, not just we get to do it with each other, but we've had the support. Okay. So at the end here, is there anywhere other than our regular LA Not So Confidential social media that you want to tell folks where they can follow you? Are you public, Dr. Scott?
Yes, I am. I mean, you can find me on Threads and Instagram at Dr._Scott_LA Not So Pod. So nice. You can find me there. We're also on Discord with our Patreon. The Patreon format is going to change, which will probably bring more people into Discord. And we do have some other things. We have some other things coming up once we have taken a breather that may even offer our Patreon members sort of not certification, but actual some formal training. We've been thinking about that for a while.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm pretty much private on everything. If you guys are, interested at all. My Instagram for my travel blog, which I actually might start writing again and doing some more stuff, or the travel blog page is called A Distant Mentality. And it's the same thing on Instagram, A Distant Mentality. So, I post stuff sometimes from trips on Instagram. And if I get actually writing on there again, I will definitely keep that updated. I wrote a post not too long ago just because I've been so inspired kind of by my other interest lately of travel hacking and getting all my trips paid for as they should be by now. Yeah, the points and miles of it. So you can follow me over there. I will be hanging out over there from time to time, but all of our regular stuff, which you will hear at the end of this show, our normal outro, will still be up and running. So even if it's not like super active week to week, drop us a DM, say hello. We will be there to say hello back.
Absolutely. So, folks, this has been LA
Not So
Confidential.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, folks.
We sincerely thank you for spending some time with us today. LA Not So Confidential is part of Alienist Entertainment and the Crawl Space Media Network. Each episode is hosted, produced, and written by Dr. Scott and Dr. Shiloh. Our post-production editing and sweetening magic is handled by the multi-talented Jason Usry of Ear Cult Productions.
Our theme music, entitled Cool Vibes Film Noir, is composed and performed by the talented Kevin MacLeod. He graciously allows us to use his music via a Creative Commons Attribution license. Please check out all of Kevin's amazing work on YouTube.
All of the resources for each episode can be found on our website at www.la-not-so-confidential.com. You can find us on Blue Sky and Instagram at LA Not So Podcast. On TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube, we are at LA Not So Confidential. Media inquiries and bookings are scheduled at alienistentertainment@gmail.com.
Once a month, we go live on YouTube on a Saturday afternoon. So stay tuned to our social media announcements to join our interactive broadcast entitled Behind the Couch, where we interview guests on a number of psych, criminal justice, and true crime topics.
And lastly, we'd be honored if you joined our Patreon at patreon.com/LA Not So Podcast. With a subscription, you get an ad-free listening experience, additional content, host interaction, and you'll be the first to know about upcoming live events, social gatherings, and super cool merch.
So thanks for listening, and join us next time on LA
Not So
Confidential.